How the first sun god Nika came from the moon. The Elbaf arc of One Piece is, undoubtedly, one of the very best that the story has had to offer, despite it just having 13 chapters so far. This arc is already one that fans will remember for years to come, and the sense of adventure that it gives off, and the depth of the lore that it delivers makes it doubly special. Fans know that the sun god Nika is heavily connected to the land of Elbaf. This was mentioned long ago to the fans in the Egghead arc, where it was clearly stated that the original tales of the sun god Nika come from the land of the giants. Now, Oda has revealed even more lore about the sun god Nika to the fans, and while there are countless ideas out there, we have our own, and this idea is based on the mural of the Atom Tree in Elbaf. Finally, Oda may just have revealed the origin of the sun god Nika, the first world and the emergence of Nika. Nika emerged in the first world from the slaves' prayers. The world was eventually destroyed. Flames engulfed the land, and humans succumbed to their desires, touching the forbidden sun. The enslaved prayed, and the sun god appeared. The earth god was enraged, and together with the serpent of infernal flames, shrouded the world in death and darkness. They would never meet again. The sun god Nika is an age-old deity that existed in the One Piece world. Up until recently, it was believed that the original sun god Nika was just a mythical figure who might not even have existed. However, now, thanks to the mural drawn by the giants during the Void Century, it is clear that the sun god Nika did indeed exist. This was also confirmed in the Harley, which was read aloud by Nico Robin in One Piece chapter 1138. Here's the full Harley, translated by Nico Robin in One Piece chapter 1138, First World. Flames engulfed the land, and humans succumbed to their desires, touching the forbidden sun. The enslaved prayed, and the sun god appeared. The earth god was enraged, and together with the serpent of infernal flames, shrouded the world in death and darkness. They would never meet again. Second World. Joy Boy and Emmett One Piece 1139. Breath stirred within the void, and the forest gods sent forth demons. The sun did nothing but spread the fires of war. The people of the half-moon dreamed, the people of the full moon dreamed. Humans slew the sun and became gods, and the sea god raged. They would never meet again. Third World. In chaos, there is void. The troubled shadow remembers the promised day, and hears the voice of the fractured moon. The sun god dances and laughs, leading the world to its end. The sun will return once more, and a new dawn will arrive. Surely, this time, they will meet again. The interpretation of the Harley. Based on the Harley, it is clear that there existed a world long before the Void Century as well, and that this world had slavery as well. For very long, fans were under the impression that slavery came into being after the world government was established. But, this is directly contradicted by the Harley, which clearly states that the slaves' wishes gave rise to the sun god Nika. According to the Harley, long ago, the world was covered in flames. These flames are likely a metaphor for resources that could be turned into a power source, and used to create the undying flame, which is something that Vegapunk wanted to create as well and he knew existed long ago in the past. Humanity got greedy, and touched the sun. This gave them powers and wealth, along with much else, but naturally, to source the undying energy, manpower was needed and thus, slavery came into effect. While those in power enjoyed their newfound position, the slaves prayed in silence and the sun god Nika appeared. Why Nika might be from the moon? It must be noted that the slaves didn't see someone become the sun god. The sun god Nika appeared from somewhere, and if one looks at the mural that was shown in One Piece chapter 1138, it is clear to see on the right side the person who earned the wrath of the earth god and the serpent of infernal flames was clearly inside a flying ship, akin to Arc Maxim. Where exactly was Arc Maxim supposed to go? Fairy Verth, or in other words, the moon. This might seem like a crazy concept to some, but the Fairy Verth is actually home to some races of the One Piece world already. It is said they the full moon people, or the winged races of the world, came from the moon. These include the Skypians, the Birkans, the Shandorians, and of course, even the Lunarians. All these lived on the moon long ago. When resources dried up on the moon, they came down to the earth, which they called the Blue Star. They settled in different places, with the Skypians living in Skypia, Birkans living in Birka, Lunarians living atop the red like where Marihoa currently is, and finally, Shadians settling in Shandora, Jaya. Given that all these races already came from the sky, it wouldn't be a stretch at all to say that Nika also came from the sky. This would essentially make sense if the enslaved in particular were the moon people or the half-moon people, the D, that lived in the world during the First World. The mural in Elbaf clearly shows the sky ship descending from the moon and in front of the king, and being attacked by the earth god and the serpent. This led to the destruction of the world. Now, The mural in itself might not be enough to convince one that the sun god Nika came from the moon, but there are other elements as well. Fans deep into One Piece would know of the Goroaways, or Japanese wordplay, which Oda absolutely loves. The Goroaways for Nika is no 2 ka 9. Together, it's 29 Nika. The Goroaways for the moon is 2 su 9 ki or Tsuki 29. Clearly, Nika shares a connection to the moon. But this isn't all. You can go deeper by connecting more ideas to the moon. In the One Piece world, fans know that if there's one thing that connects to the moon, it is the minks in their Sulong form. How does the Sulong come about? By looking at the moon. What are the characteristics of the Sulong transformation? White hair, red eyes, white clothes, and simply an all-white transformation. What is Nika described to be? An all-white warrior of liberation. Clearly, the connection between the moon and the sun god Nika is strong, and it wouldn't be a surprise at all if, just like the winged races, the sun god came from the moon, from the city of Birka.